In this multiple step SOH CAH TOA situation, we are being asked for the length of side UX. But when we look at triangle UXW, we can see that we don't have enough information to solve it. We know the 39-degree angle, but we need, in order to use SOH CAH TOA, at least one more side. This forces us to start with one of the other triangles. Triangle WXZ also does not have enough information to solve, but triangle YXZ at the top does have enough information. We know the 19-degree angle and the 12-meter hypotenuse. We can use these values to solve for all of the rest of the missing angles and sides in triangle YZX. But the value that interests us is side XZ, because that side is shared with the triangle below. Side XZ is adjacent to the 19-degree angle, so therefore we are going to use the CAH formula, the CAH formula. Cos of 19 degrees is equal to adjacent x over hypotenuse 12. We plug the values into the formula and solve, and it looks like this. Side XZ is equal to 11.3462 meters, if rounded off to 4 decimal places. This allows me to switch into triangle WXZ and solve for any missing sides or angles in that triangle. But again, I don't need everything in that triangle. The side that is of use to me is side WX, because that side is shared with triangle UXW, and that is the triangle I've always been interested in solving from the beginning of this problem. From the 29-degree angle's point of view, side XW that I'm looking for is opposite, and side XZ that I now know is the adjacent. This is a TOA situation, and I'm going to fill in my TOA formula. Tan of 29 degrees is equal to opposite x over adjacent 11.3462. I plug the values into the formula and I solve, and I end up with side WX is equal to 6.2893 meters. Finally, I can move into triangle UXW and solve for the hypotenuse, which is what I have been interested in finding all along. I now know the angle 39 degrees, the opposite side of 6.2893 meters, and I'm looking for the hypotenuse. This is an SOH situation, and I use the SAW formula. Sine of 39 degrees is equal to opposite 6.2893 over hypotenuse x. I plug the values into the formula and simplify, and I get x equals 9.9938 meters. The hypotenuse of triangle UXW is 9.9938 meters if rounded off to 4 decimal places. All along, as I'm doing all of these calculations, whenever I have a value in my calculator that is longer than 4 decimal places, I write down my value to 4 decimal places on paper, but I keep the real value in the memory of the calculator as much as possible so that I don't have to round off unnecessarily. It's a long problem with multiple steps, and the more times I round off along the way, the more inaccurate my final answer will be. So I'd like to avoid rounding off until the very final step. This is a multiple step SOH CAH TOA problem, which involves using all 3 of the SOH, CAH, and TOA formulas.